Hi guys, welcome to another coffee chat show here on Buzzing Pattaya, the show where we talk about things that are happening right here, right now, as well as general news, tips, information and advice. Now today, I'm down soi13 in the city centre, and behind me is a bar called the Veterans Bar, and I thought, well, what better day today than to pop in, go and see the owner, a guy called Rob, and have a chat with him and see about what is the Veterans all about. It's a relatively new bar, so guys, if you're watching the video, come down, check this place out. I'm going to go and talk to the owner in a minute. He's an ex-squaddy, but we won't hold that against him, and we're going to find out all about the Veterans Bar and what it is. Now, if you're not sure where we are, Beach Road and Second Road. We're towards the end of Second Road here, but you can get to the bar if you come up from Beach Road, turn up soi13, or if you come down Second Road, you can still get down here, be on the right-hand side. All right, so I'm going to nip in now and go and have a chat with Rob, and let's talk about the Veterans Bar and what it's all about here in soi13 in Pattaya City Centre. Okay, guys, so here we are. I'm inside the Veterans Bar. Joining me is the owner, Rob. Rob, how you doing, buddy?
Smashing, thanks. How are you?
Oh, I'm very good, thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And you as well, Trev.
So, we're going to talk about the bar. We're going to talk about things that you've got here. I mean, obviously you've opened a new bar called the Veterans Bar, and we'll talk about that later on.
Okay.
But what I want to ask you first is, obviously with the name Veterans,
Yeah.
where were you before? What were you up to? What was your history?
Yeah, well, I'm an ex-Royal Marine.
Okay, brilliant.
The idea was actually initiated by a friend of ours in the UK.
Yeah.
Myself and my business partner Nigel, we had the intention of opening a bar in Pattaya,
Yeah.
but we didn't want the same sort of bar. We wanted something unique.
All right,
And
okay.
it was, obviously with my history, this good friend of ours suggested we went down this route.
Okay.
He actually called it Vets Bar, and when myself and Nigel come here, we changed the name to Veterans Bar. But it was a load of cats and dogs being brought.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bring my dog in for a quick one.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like going back in your history, I mean, where are you from?
Manchester.
From Manchester.
Yeah.
Are you a Mighty Red fan?
I certainly am, sir.
Well, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go now. I'm an Arsenal fan, so
Right, well, there you go. Yeah.
We've all got our crosses to bear. I mean, so you've gone from Manchester. I'm
Yeah.
guessing you came to Pattaya for like holidays and stuff before you made the plunge to come here and actually open a business.
Well, I actually, I've been living in Wahim for the last 5-6 years.
Oh, right, okay.
I went back to the UK. And then I eventually got back after the quarantine.
Yeah.
To come back to my wife, and we decided to come to Pattaya instead of Wahim.
Oh, nice.
To open up the bar here as opposed to
So,
Wahim.
in Manchester, freezing cold.
Exactly.
And you joined the Marines.
Yes.
I mean, where did that go wrong? Did you take a wrong turn down the road?
I think so. Yeah, it's called Blackfriars Street in Manchester.
So I mean, you must have ended up in, where's it, Plymouth?
Yeah. In 40 Commando in Plymouth.
Okay, and how long were you in for?
3.5, 4 years.
Wow,
Just
nice.
short of 4 years.
Nice,
yeah.
excellent.
Well, I won't call it nice, but yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I mean, I'm an ex-Green Jacket,
Right.
so I was in 3 RGJ and I've done my bit. So,
Right.
so I do understand and relate to you. And I know a lot of you guys out there that watch this, you know, many of you have been in the forces yourselves, being in the Air Force, the Navy, or the Army, like us guys. I mean, in terms of the changes from when you came out of the Army, I mean, coming out of the Army to coming to Pattaya?
Yeah. Again, it was a big change because obviously the forces, as you well know, Trevor, they institutionalise you.
Of course,
so you rely on everybody else to do everything for you.
You do.
You know, your food's there, your accommodation's there.
Yeah.
Then obviously you come into Civvy Street and you have to do it yourself.
Can I ask you, Rob, what were the main things that you found hardest to adjust to?
People being late. We were always told in the Marines, a good Marine is 5 minutes early.
Yeah.
Why is everybody like 10 minutes adrift, you know?
Well, what about tides? They're like 2 days.
Well, yeah, exactly. 1 hour, 2 hour waiting for the taxi.
Mate, I say to my missus, I'm going out at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But really, I know I'm not going to go out till 9, but I plan an hour ahead.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, how did you adapt? I mean, one of the things I found really, really difficult, and you know, you guys that have been in the Army, that have been in the force, you'll understand what we're going to talk about now. I think for me, the biggest change was the word no.
Yes.
You know, it was having that opportunity in life again to be able to say the word no without any kind of comeback.
That's right.
I mean, the Sergeant Major comes out in the parade square, you're doing that, yes sir.
Yeah.
You know, not actually no, I don't fancy it, can I have it? You know,
right,
so I found that very hard. I mean, did you adapt to that?
Yeah, the same. I mean, I found it very difficult because the same as you, Trevor, you jump when you're told to do anything, aren't you? In Civilian Street, Obviously, you speak to people. I don't want to do that. Move that box to there. Do as you're told. I beg your pardon. You know. Yeah. So that was a massive change for me. You know
MFO
what I mean?
boxes.
That's right. Yeah.
Can you remember? Move that MFO box from there to there,
Yeah.
and you get the rope at the end. You pick it up, and it's like, what you got in there? Like, oh dear.
Yeah,
I mean, in terms of when you was in the army, where were some of the places you were posted to? Did you get to travel a lot?
Yeah, we did. They always kept us busy, very busy. I think obviously the MOD thought that we paid a lot of money to train these boys.
Yeah.
So let's put them to use. We were at Sardinia, Norway, Gibraltar.
Enough about your holidays.
Yeah,
Where did you go to serve?
Obviously we did.
Can you hear it?
The tours in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
We did the Royal Tournament. We did the firefighting when the firemen first went on strike.
Yeah.
We were always kept doing something.
Now,
You know?
how surreal is this, right? This is completely unprovoked, and we're going to talk about this now. You're talking about when the Green Goddesses were doing the fire.
Yes.
Well, my stepfather was very high up in the London Fire Brigade.
Right.
And I used to drive around with him and Arthur Scargill in the car. We used to drive around all the fire units where the Green Goddesses were stagging on.
Yeah.
So how surreal is that? And
Exactly.
that's totally unplanned. Totally unplanned.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact is, my stepfather was a wanker, but never mind about that. But I did actually have to go around all these places.
Yeah.
I know, Mum, you're watching, so that one was for you, Mum. But so the old Green Goddesses. I remember.
And what was quite ironic for me at the time, my eldest brother, was a fireman.
Right.
So I was running around like an idiot in these Green Goddesses. We were absolutely crap at firefighting.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't know anything about firefighting, but we got on with it. And then on my leave, I used to go back to Manchester with my brother, Agecroft Fire Station, pick it with him outside the fire station. But we absolutely loved the firefighting, although we was absolutely crap at it.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed the the adventure of it all.
I must admit, I mean, as a kid growing up in the fire brigade, it was amazing. I remember going into London to the hydraulic turntable platform, you know, because we had all the big blocks of flats in Wandsworth. So, you know, seeing this incredible machinery in action with the guys, and they were always good at volleyball. They were so good. All the firemen can play volleyball. What is that about?
Yeah, so what does that tell you?
They go out in the yard, in the training yard, and they were so good at volleyball. And I was lucky, my uncle was a builder, so a lot of the firemen also used to work on their shifts on their day off and come and work with him on the building trade. So it was brilliant. But how surreal.
I know.
How surreal.
Our very first shout, Trevor, we actually parked on the fire hydrant. And the policeman said to us, you need to move the Green
Move on a
Goddess.
bit, boys. Move
Why?
on.
Because you parked on the fire hydrant. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope it wasn't your house you was coming to put out. And I mean, obviously, you know, we're going back in time now. I mean, when was the first time you came to Pattaya?
Probably about 7 years ago.
7 years ago. Okay.
Before I met my good lady wife.
And did you come here or did you go to Horhin?
No, we actually came here, went to Phuket, and then I ended up in Wahin, where I stayed for, I think, 5.5, 6 years in Wahin.
Nice.
And then obviously I went back to the UK. Actually went back to the UK to start a business.
Okay.
A little Thai restaurant. That didn't go according to plan.
Yeah.
So I sold my business in the UK, my little Thai restaurant, and made my way back here. Obviously when I could get back here, which was last October, I came over. I stayed with me wife up in Udon Thani.
Oh yeah.
And then basically just waiting for Nigel to come back over himself. And then we met here in Pattaya and had a look at this bar and away we went.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to ask you this question because it's something that does rattle my cage a little bit. I've got to be honest with you. How do you feel when you walk around and like you're drinking in the bars, etc., and someone says to you, "Oh yeah, I met her." Say, "Yes, mate."
Yeah.
I mean, it really is like one of those situations. I mean, just do something else. Be a rocket scientist, or I don't know, be like Peter Stringfellow's Batman. Whatever you want to do. But why do they say they're in this here?
I don't know, Trevor. And it's like I've said before. I can never get my head around the thing that somebody wants to profess to be something they've never been.
Yeah.
You know, in a way it's annoying because obviously they're trying to claim the glory of doing it. But what sort of person does that?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they must be so small or narrow-minded to do that. You know, in the Royal Marines we call them Walter Mitties, you know. And there's actually a Facebook site if you go onto like the Royal Marines on the Facebook site, there is a site dedicated to these vultures.
No.
They actually hunt
That's
them
brilliant.
down. Yeah, they
That's
actually
brilliant.
hunt them down and find out who these people are. You know.
I mean, I was in the SAS myself, but
I believe that,
But,
Trevor, yeah.
well, that was when I left. You see, I left and I joined the TA, and I was a Saturday and a Sunday boy.
Right. So it wasn't Salvation Army Solstiers, no.
Well, kind of. I didn't want to admit it on camera, but but you know, it's funny.
Excuse me.
You go around and you hear these people professing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd love to stick an SLR in their hand and say, well, strip that down.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
crack on, buddy.
Yeah.
See how you get on.
But we both know that's never going to happen.
No,
is it, you know?
no. I mean, talking about the SLR, do you remember when the SA8 came?
Yeah. Well, I actually never served with the SA8. I was fortunate, you know.
You're
I was
old,
just-
aren't you?
Yeah. It was just the SLR with me, fellas. you know?
So I was with the SLR, and then they introduced the SA80.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what's this plastic toy like? You know,
Exactly,
it's like,
yeah.
what am I meant to do with this? And the
Yeah.
suit site and all the rest of
Yeah.
it. But I must admit, I mean, if you could go back in time and relive your history, would you do it again?
Yeah, definitely.
Would you?
Yeah, I love the Marines.
Yeah.
No bones about it. I wasn't so keen on the training.
Yeah.
You know, I just got through that. But being in the fighting unit and doing what we did it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Fair play to you. Well, fair play to you. You know, Rob. You know, guys out there, if you are in the forces, come and check out Rob. Come into the bar and have a chat. And we're going to talk a lot more about the bar in part 2. But before we get to part 2, I just want to ask you a bit about Pattaya. I mean, when you came here, I mean, what was your initial reaction to coming here to this incredible city that we're fortunate enough to live in?
This present time, or when I came before,
The first time you came here?
yeah, it was surreal how busy it was, and obviously you have some sort of inkling because we've been to other cities in like Bangkok and Phuket and everything. But it was outstanding, really. But obviously when I came back this time with the COVID, it was surreal in a completely different way, you know.
Yeah.
I went down Walking Street and to see all the bars closed for sale, for rent, you know, it was heart wrenching, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I thought, and I pitied the Thai people who own these businesses. You know, I really did, and obviously the Farangs that own businesses here. But when I first came to Pattaya, it's just an eye-opener, isn't it?
Mental, isn't it? It's mental.
And you just keep saying to yourself, well, this is Thailand.
I know. Well, I just kept saying to myself, am I really sexy?
That's
really?
it, yeah. Welcome, handsome man.
And like, hello, sexy man. I'm like, hang on. Hello, this girl's talking to you, and it's like, no, it's me. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what I do like about today's interview. And
Yeah.
you guys out there, this is for you. Come on, look, hair, no hair. Do you know, when I interview people, unfortunately, most of them like me, they're born with no hair.
Yeah.
And I get so much grief, people saying, is he your brother? And I'm like, dude, how busy do you think my mother was? Do you know what I mean? But the fortunate thing is, Rob, you've got hair.
Yeah.
So there's clearly a differentiation
Exactly.
between the pair of us here.
Yeah.
All right, brilliant. So, I mean, I want to touch on, in part 2, a lot more in detail about the bar that you've got here and
Okay.
about what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of Pattaya right now, obviously we're in the midst of COVID. It's a horrific time for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you see the future coming from? What do you see changing? How soon in the future do you think we might get some kind of normality again?
Me personally, Trevor, I don't think it will ever go back to how it was.
Right.
Obviously, when they lift the restrictions.
Okay, mate. He's trying to sell us some sunglasses.
I know,
I mean,
yeah.
we're in the middle of an interview. He's trying to pop the sunglasses on me. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. But although saying that, the other week I was offered a box of Viagra.
Oh, were you? Did you buy them?
Afterwards. Sorry. Anyway, so go on. Yeah. So back to the future.
So, I don't think it will ever get back to how it was 6-7 years ago when I first came. Obviously, it will pick up when they lift the restrictions on the UK and America and Australia and everywhere else. You know, obviously, I think it will be 50% possibly as busy as it was. You know, and I think people will be deterred from coming to Thailand because of it. You know, and but for me and my business partner Nigel, we are welcoming the expats in the area,
Sure.
which are military or former military personnel.
Okay.
You know, so hopefully we can have a captive audience that's already in Pattaya, you know. But obviously, we want everybody to come back.
Sure.
You know, and, like I say, Trevor, I don't think it will ever go back to how it was before. You know.
And do you think the 2-week quarantine is a major issue?
Yeah, definitely so. You know, because a lot of the lads in the UK, as you must know, if they come over for a month or for 3 weeks,
Yeah.
they're spending the majority of that in quarantine.
Yeah.
If they lifted that alone, it would help. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I know guys that are watching this, you know, we had this discussion the other day on one of the other coffee chats, and so many people have said, been the 2-week quarantine,
Yeah.
I'm there like a shot.
Well, people have got a fighting chance then, haven't they? you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I
So-
mean, you come here for a month and spend 2 weeks in quarantine, and even worse now. I mean, I know it doesn't affect us right now because we're not a red zone.
Yeah.
But if you go back to the UK, you're going to do 2 weeks there. As
Exactly. Yeah. So people
You know.
are just not going to do it, are
Well.
they?
Yeah,
You know.
mental.
Yeah, it is.
So, okay, cards on the table then.
Yeah.
When do you reckon everything will be back to normal? Give me a month.
I don't think it'll ever be back to normal, but I think the nearest you're going to get to, I would think, possibly this time next year.
Oh, okay.
That's
this
what
one
I
next
would
year.
say. Yeah, I don't think things are going to greatly change this year. I hope I'm wrong. You
So
know?
do I.
You know, I hope the people flood back as soon
Yeah.
as they can. But in all reality, me and my business partner, that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say I'm going to go for Q3.
Right. Okay.
I hope Q3 we'll have no more 2 week
Yeah.
quarantine,
Yeah.
and I think they'll invite us back, and we can,
Yeah.
like you say, it will never be the same.
No.
I think there's a lot of reshuffling to come, and we can
Yeah.
talk about that in part 2. But I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of reshuffling going to happen, and it will never be the good old days back in back in the years that have gone by.
Yeah.
But I do think that Q3 2 week quarantine,
Yeah.
done and dusted. And,
Well, let's hope you're more accurate than me.
who knows? Well, you know, green jackets. You know what I mean, boys?
Green.
Green jackets. All right. Well, listen, guys. I'm going to wrap up now with Rob. We're going to come back in a couple of days with part 2. So please stay tuned. Rob, thank you so much for.
Thank you very much for your
It's
time,
been a pleasure
Trevor.
meeting you.
And a
It's been
pleasure meeting you, sir.
Yeah, and I can't believe I'm saying he's a Man United fan. What the god damn? Honestly,
Come on, the Gooners.
my fellow Gooner friends out there, he paid me to shake his hand, all right? He paid me. Don't have anything else. All right, guys, so that's it from me here today on the Coffee Chat Show. Thank you very much for watching part 1 here at the Veterans Bar Soi 13-2 with Rob. And don't forget, coming up in a couple of days' time will be part 2, where we're going to talk about all about the bar, what the concept is, what the future plans are for Rob, and why he took the plunge to open a bar in this current climate. All right, that's it from us, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Please, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.